Hey buddy, Crow back again. It's March 29th and we are 5 minutes away from the next pinball show on the Zen Studios YouTube channel. This episode or this show was supposed to originally go up on March 10th, and when I went to go watch it on March 10th, it just never showed up, and it turned out it was delayed. I thought it'd only be delayed like a week at most, but it's like 19 days later, and I found out yesterday they put this up, scheduled it for noon my time, Central Standard Time. I was like, oh, perfect, it's during my lunch break, so I'll be able to just watch it kind of live and record my reaction. You know, it's live. You're not watching this live. This is obviously going to be recorded, but yeah, we're going to finally find out, I think, when the early access of Pinball FX on the Epic's game store is going to be. Now, on consoles, it's not going to be released till summer, so we'll see if they actually have a date for that as well. Also, I'm interested in what the pricing is going to be, because that's something they haven't really talked about. What is the pricing for each table is going to be? Is it going to be similar in line to what Pinball FX 3 is going to be, or is it going to be a little bit more? Will people that already have the tables in Pinball FX 3 get a discount in Pinball FX? Hopefully all this stuff will get answered in this video. Oh yeah, I'm kind of looking at the chat down there. Pinball Rail. I wonder if they're going to kind of point something out with that as well, what that actually is going to be, because that sounds pretty interesting. Also, I don't know if I've mentioned it or not, but hopefully we'll find out what the pricing is. I'm really curious what the pricing is going to be for the subscription service, because it really can't be a lot. If it's over $5 a month, I might have to question that, because if you think about it, you know, there's all these subscription services out there, and a lot of people already have Game Pass, and they're not going to want to have Game Pass and a subscription for Pinball FX. At least that's what I've heard from a couple people in the chat. Not the chat, but in my comments section on previous videos. I personally am not interested in a subscription service unless there's exclusive tables in it. But, you know, that might be the way to go for some people. Some people just want to pay a small fee every month just to have access to everything, rather than shell out, you know, hundreds of dollars to have all the tables. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you ready? I think most people are ready. We were ready 19 days ago.
This is the very last episode before Pinball FX launches into
I thought he was going to say the very last episode, period.
So the big day will be, drumroll please, March 31st.
Which means that by the end of this month,
they met the March date.
And
very last day of the month.
And just a friendly reminder that your Pinball FX 3 purchases will not carry over to the new Pinball FX. Yep. We also wanted to remind those of you playing Zen Pinball Party on Apple Arcade.
But it doesn't sound like there's going to be any discount either.
Yeah, so huge thank you to community members who helped us reveal the Day 1 tables. Big shout out to Deadflip, to the guys from Blockade.
Hey, did I say me?
Spacey's Arcade, Crow Continuum.
That's me.
Pinball Wiz 45B, The Pinball Chick, and Cool Toys.
Yes, and if you missed any of those announcements, don't worry, because we're going to do a full reveal on all the tables announced right now.
All right.
Also, I saw a lot of tables.
Yes.
What was missing, though?
That was a total of 38 tables on Pinball FX coming to early access on March.
So what's that going to cost to buy straight out?
For a full list of everything that you just saw, be sure to check out the FAQ on pinballfx.com, where everything is easily accessible, and Zen will be keeping it up to date as new tables are being released.
In last month's episode, Mel revealed the Pinball
So there's a lot of tables that aren't transferring over.
Access table content.
Mel is here to talk about pricing for both the tables and the Pinball Pass.
Okay, this is going to be interesting.
Fans. We're going to be offering packs of tickets, purchasable through the first-party store.
Tickets
will then be exchanged for table redemption in-game. The pricing is straightforward, with extra tickets offered for higher spend levels. For example, $9.99 for 100 tickets, $19.99 for 220 tickets.
Oh, so the more money you spend, the more tickets you get.
And a $100 option for 1,200 tickets. There are different categories of tables in Pinball FX.
Yes, obviously not all the tables are going to cost the same.
Categories are the tables you've been enjoying throughout the history of the Pinball FX franchise, our legacy tables.
Okay,
all
legacy
Zen
tables.
original legacy tables will be priced at 40 tickets, while licensed legacy tables
40?
will be priced at 45 tickets. At least, that's the normal price. I'm
40
happy
and
to announce
45
legacy
tickets.
re-release discounts. All
So,
legacy tables
around
will be 33%
$4 or $5
off during the first week of
Oh,
release.
there we go.
This
33%
includes
off.
all legacy tables that are released
So it's like
day one
between
in early access.
$3 and
Of course,
$4,
as new legacy
or
table releases
$4 and
occur in the
$5
months
for all
to
these
come,
tables. $4 and
those will
$5,
also
let's
be
say.
33% off in their first week.
But then
of release.
33% off
Keep watching the Pinball Show
on the first
or
week.
keep an eye on our social channels to know when legacy releases happen.
Okay,
New
so
Zen original Pinball
what about the
FX
Indiana
tables,
Jones table?
games
Because
like
everything's
Noir and
legacy.
Curse of the Mummy
Okay,
will
here
be
we go.
55
These
tickets.
55.
While
So
new licensed Pinball FX tables, games like Star Wars Mandalorian and Classic Collectibles, will be 60 tickets.
60. Okay,
The
so
final
there's like
category
a
is Pinball
price
FX
bump on these
licensed
tables, to be
premium
honest.
Tables. This classification is reserved for special games.
This is going to be
such as
100 tickets,
Indiana Jones,
or
the Pinball Adventure.
maybe 150
For now,
tickets.
Indiana Jones, the Pinball Adventure,
150
is the only
tickets.
licensed premium table, and this game can be purchased directly from the Epic Game Store. It cannot be purchased with tickets from the Pinball FX in-game.
So you can't even buy it with
Indiana
tickets.
Jones will be $14.99.
Okay, $14.99. They're not increasing the price anymore.
Across Pinball. As we're about to transition to Pinball FX Pinball Pass details, the Indie table is not available through Pinball Pass at this time.
Okay, that
Fortunately, everything else
is the one
available
table
through
they
Pinball
were
Pass.
alluding to
So
that
let's
wouldn't
take
be in the
some time to
Pinball
talk
Pass.
about it. The Pinball Pass has two options. The free option allows you to play 2 free tables.
But there you go. You got your free option for people that don't want to spend any money. You just don't get a wide option of.
Version of Pinball Pass. The price is going
Oh
to be
my God, that's too
$14.99
much.
per month, or an annual fee of $99.99 for the entire year.
$100 for the year.
Most tables will be unlocked. Day one early access.
I was saying $5. I thought.
With the
I
exception
mean, maybe
of
people
Indiana
are interested in
Jones
that, but
Pinball
that
Adventure.
isn't that like
So,
as
the
much
Pinball
or
Pass
more
table roster
than
looks like
Game
this.
Pass,
We have Star Wars
Microsoft Game
Pinball,
Pass or whatever?
William Pinball Show,
$100
or
for the
Pinball
whole
FX
year
news
is-
section regularly for updates.
How much is that?
You know, in advance,
It's still like
if any
$8,
brand new Pinball FX table is
$8.30
coming to Pinball
a
Pass
year,
for
a
now.
month if you pay $100 per
Or if a
year.
certain
So
table
that
was not
is
a
a
part of
way
Pinball
better
Pass
deal.
is
Oh, like a
making
way
up
better
the
deal.
service.
But you have to put up all that
that's
money
the
up front.
content. Next, let's talk about features.
And that's pretty
All
closer
features
to
will
the
be
$5
unlocked for
price
every
that I
table
was
included in the Pinball Pass.
kind
This
of
means all modes,
thinking of.
tournaments will
Oh, look
enjoy
at the
extra Pinball Royale
animations up there.
benefits
That
and
is
rewards.
awesome.
More on Pinball Royale at a later date. We'll be adding
Oh, no
many more
Pinball
features to
Royale,
Pinball Pass in
Royale
the coming
details.
months. We are ready to share a brand new Pinball FX feature.
Okay, what is
something
it?
Many of you have been asking for a long time.
Hello everyone, Akos here. Today, I am happy to reveal the brand
Oh,
new manual camera
yes!
settings feature that will be
About
available
time!
starting in early
Jeez!
This
Come
is one
on!
of the most requested new features from the community, and we're happy to provide you with an easy-to-use tool.
I
that
cannot
allows you to
believe they're
adjust
putting
the
this in there.
in-game
I was
view of
complaining
the
about it. I was so used
Let's
to
see what
complaining
this looks
about it.
like.
I was not expecting them to
Here
actually
we are
put it in
playing
there.
Wild West Rampage. Pause the game, and this menu pops up. Select the manual camera setup option, and then select Set Manual
Oh
Camera.
wait, maybe this isn't what I was thinking it was.
You can use the slider to adjust the camera height up and down.
Okay, well that's
These
good.
customized views allow you to experience the game however you choose.
Oh,
This feature is available for every table in the Pinball FX
now I'm
library.
a bit disappointed because I thought it would be more
As
in
you
depth than
probably
that.
know, we never stop working on physics around here. As Williams
I thought I'd be able to
which has been
maneuver
widely
the camera
regarded as
anywhere
Zen's
I
best
wanted.
physics simulation to date. Today,
Okay,
I'm
talking about
excited
the
to tell you that
physics.
all tables in the early access library, both legacy and new, will feature an improved version of Pro Physics.
Nice.
This physics
Look
model,
at the score up
Yes,
there. I like how they're
41.
getting away from the
all
DMD.
41 As you can imagine, this adds up to an insane amount of variation that needs testing and refinement.
Yes, it
This
does.
time,
Because you
we
can
really
mess with
think
those
all
variables
physics are the
yourself
best
in
they have
Zaccaria
ever been.
Pinball. Okay, it's over. I'm going to check their website because I'm really curious about the price. Did I figure that out right? Facts. Okay. Early access day one roster will be, of course, these 3 new tables. Williams tables. Are there any Williams tables that are missing? Fishtails is missing. Fishtails was the free table. I'm surprised that's not in there. Now, that's not saying that they're not going to be in here. It's just it's not available on early access day one. So maybe by the time it actually is released, these tables will be available. But in a way, I'm almost kind of glad they're not adding everything at once because for starters, it's just going to cost a fortune if you're going to buy everything day one, and you're going to have a lot to play. I mean, there's a lot to play right now, especially with the 3 new tables. Whitewater's missing, Hurricane is missing, and Circus Voltaire is missing. They did Tales of the Arabian Nights, right? No, they did not. That's not there. No Good Gophers. Oh man, that's not there. I love No Good Gophers. Dr. Dude is not there. Space Station is not there. Now, I think those, Dr. Dude, Space Station, and Funhouse are not there because they didn't have the DMD. They had the alphanumeric, and that might pose a little bit of a different challenge in transferring that over. There are the only 3 tables that do that instead of DMD, so that is at least why I can think of those won't be there. But as for the other tables, I mean, there is a lot that is not here. They threw in a lot of Star Wars. But there's obviously there's a lot of stuff not here. But again, they're probably gonna be adding a lot of legacy table stuff back in slowly as they go along. All right, it's much later in the day, and I was editing the video, and as they were going through the tables, he mentioned there were 38 tables. And when I looked at my list, I only had 36 on there. And I was like, well, and I had done all the calculations, and I figured, wait a minute, how do I have 36 when they said 38? And I counted through them. As sure enough, there's 38. But I had just copied this list straight into a spreadsheet. And when I was looking through it, I realized there's a couple errors on here. Rome and Secrets of the Deep were on the same line. So I had to separate that out manually. And also, Junkyard and Attack from Mars were on the same line, so I had to separate those. So I had to kind of add those into this sheet that I was working on, and separately to recalculate everything. So basically, on this sheet here, we have, basically I just copied the list of the tables here. In column B here was the list of the tickets, the number of tickets you would need to buy it. And in the case of Indiana Jones, where there was no tickets, I just put in $14.99. And then basically on column C here, I converted it to what it would be in real dollars if one ticket was 10 cents. And they said that the legacy license tables would be 45 tickets. They didn't specifically mention the Williams tables, but I'm assuming that counts as licensed legacy. So those would be 45 tickets. Mandalorian and the Classics Collectibles, 60 tickets each. So, if you just boil that down, that's like $6 for each of those tables. Then 45 for the rest of these Star Wars ones, 45 tickets for all of these, the Jurassic Park and the Universal tables, and then 40 for the Legacy tables, which is about $4 for each of these, which is like a bump up in price. They also said that during the first week, the Legacy tables would be 33% off. I think they said 33% off. Let me go back and check. So yeah, I double checked, and 33% off, but it's only the Legacy tables. So in column D here, I put in the number of tickets if it was 33% off, ticket-wise, and then I rounded it. So of course, these 3 new tables, no discount, so they remain at 55. The Williams tables here, well, Indiana Jones is not getting discounted. That is not I don't think that's considered a legacy table. So that'll still be $15. And then all the other Williams tables, that drops it down to 30 tickets, like $3, which is much more reasonable. Okay, the Mandalorian and Classic Collectibles, they specifically said would not be discounted, so those would remain at 60. The Star Wars tables go from 45 to 30 as well. Same thing for all of the Universal tables and the Jurassic Park tables from 45 to 30. And then the older tables, the original Legacy tables from 40 tickets to 27 tickets. Before I get any further, I gotta mention here, I wanted to figure out the pass. They said that for if you paid per month for that pass, it was $14.99, which I think is an outrageous price to pay. Because if you multiply that by 12 for a year, it's like $180 a year. But then they said it's $100 for a year. And if you break that down by months, that winds up being $8 per month, which is still a little bit too high. Because I thought the threshold would be $5, but that's way closer to $5 than $14.99 is. So, and also I don't know who this pass is for, because in order to even do $100 per $100 per year, you're going to have to get $8 of value every month. And that would mean that they would have to release at least 2 tables every month for you to get your money's worth, I think. Otherwise, you're just better off buying the tables as they come out, because it would wind up being cheaper, and you don't have to keep paying a subscription every year or month just to keep playing the tables. I mean, it's a one and done payment, whereas you're just constantly shelling out the money every month just for the ability to play this. In this column here, I wanted to add up, without any discount, not including the Indiana Jones tickets, it would be, for the tables they have, the 38 tables they have there, 1,685 tickets. You'll have to buy the tickets, and as far as I know, you can only buy them in these packs. So in order to get to 1,685 tickets, you have to buy a $100 pack of 1,200 tickets. But then also, if you wanted to go for the minimum amount of tickets possible, you'd have to also buy a $50 pack of 575 tickets, and that would give you a total of 1,775 tickets, which is just over 1,685. And if you were to buy all the tables that way, you'd have 90 tickets left. So $100, $49.99 equals $149.99. And if you wanted to buy Indiana Jones as well, that's another $14.99, which gives us $164.98 you'd have to spend to get everything day one if there was no discount. And for 38 tables, that breaks down to about $4.34 per table, which honestly isn't that bad, especially since you have 90 tickets left over, which will buy you probably 2 more tables. Only 1 table if you're going for one of the more expensive ones, but 2 more basic legacy tables at least. But let's say that we want to buy everything within the first week, and you get that 33% off discount on only the legacy tables. I calculated that to being 1,221 tickets. And wouldn't you know that the highest number of tickets you could buy is 1,200, so you'd be short 21 tickets. And then the least amount of tickets you could buy is 100 tickets. So again, 1,200, you have 100 tickets here, and then you have to buy another 100 tickets. You have to spend another $9.99. You'd wind up with 1,300 tickets and a total of $109.99 spent. But then also, if you wanted the Indiana Jones table, you'd be putting in another $14.99 for a total of $124.98. And again, that seems like a lot to pay out at one time, but you're getting that for 38 tables, and your total price per table is $3.29, which is actually right in line with what those tables were costing in Pinball FX 3. Now, I could totally understand if you've already bought the tables in Pinball FX 3 and you don't want to pay this price to buy them again. That's totally understandable. But I'm really interested in seeing how this shakes out on the new engine and everything. And honestly, if I switch over, I'm going to switch over completely, I think. Now, there's still going to be tables that are only playable in Pinball FX 3, but that gap should close over time as they keep adding more tables to it. The whole point of this was just to break down dollar amounts, and they had to make it more complicated by introducing this whole ticket system, and the fact that you can't just buy the exact number of tickets you want. You have to buy them in bundles, which means you have to spend a little bit more money than if you were just to buy these tables at the exact cost. And also, not to mention the fact that if you're not sure how Pinball FX is going to play on your system or your hardware, I'm talking about PC here. Obviously, it'd have to run okay on consoles, but you can still test it out by getting the free pass and just playing the tables that are available. And if I heard correctly, it'd be 2 free tables you'd be able to play. And I think they said they would swap out every day. That seems too frequently, but maybe I misheard that. But it sounded like they would switch out those free tables every day. So, for real, I'll see y'all next time.